and it was being controlled from Pakistan with active support of ISI and the Pakistan Army. The local Toma commanders, most of them Pakistanis, who were in charge of controlling, coordinating, fabricating and execution of this operation, were the main people of the JEM top leadership in the valley. Since this leadership of the JEM was on a track, ever since this incident happened, and that in less than 100 hours we eliminated the JEM leadership in the valley, which was being handled by JEM from Pakistan. The details of the terrorists killed, 2 Pakistani terrorists and 1 local conduit. The terrorists have been shared by you by the police in the yesterday's press release. I would also like to tell one thing to the parents of the local youth, especially the mothers, because I understand and I know in a Kashmiri society, mother has a great role to play. Through you, I would request all the mothers of Kashmir to please request their sons who have joined terrorism to surrender and get back to the mainstream. Anyone who has picked up gun in Kashmir will be eliminated unless he surrenders. And this is a message and a request to all the mothers. Please tell your children to surrender. There is a very good surrender policy being initiated by the government so that they can join the mainstream and pursue with their life and their future course. Otherwise, anyone, as I said earlier, anyone who has picked up a gun will be killed and eliminated unless he surrenders. I also like to inform you that success of this operation within less than 100 hours was a result of complete synergy between all security forces, may it be Army, JKP, SOG, CRPF or the intelligences. We are working in complete cohesion and unison. In the end, once again, with prayer on my lips and pride in my heart, I pay my homage to all the martyrs of 14th February convoy attack and yesterday's operation. And now I request IGP Kashmir and IG CRPF to give their version, and thereafterwards we will take on any questions which you may have. Thank you.
Just not we had given a detailed press release yesterday, and the detailed press release has been issued yesterday, and I must say that it was an excellent operation. The coordination and the synergy which was reflected on ground, and on specific information this operation was launched, and as we know that 3 top terrorists were eliminated of Jaish-e-Mohammed. Regarding the investigational details of the case, the investigational details of the case will be shared with you as the investigation progresses, and the other findings like the details regarding the recovery and other details we will also share with the media as and when the investigation progresses. Thank you.
Sir, wait.
I would start by paying my deepest homage to the martyred personnel of the Indian Army and the JKP yesterday, and also to the martyred men of the CRPF on the 14th. I would like to assure everyone, and above all the family members of the martyred brave men, that whatever it takes, whatever it costs, we as the Corps Commanders already said, we as a team would ensure that all the people involved in these attacks are booked as per law. We stand by our families, by our martyrs, and I would like to assure everyone of our resolve to take this to its logical end. At the same time, I would, since the media is here, I would like to highlight one phone number, that is 14411 of the Madadgar. Our helpline has been helping Kashmiris all over the country in the wake of this attack, and I'm happy to inform that a lot of Kashmiri students have approached this helpline for help all over the country. Everything is under control, and all Kashmiri children studying outside have been taken care of by the security forces all over the country. But still, if there are any issues, I would appeal to them to approach this number for any help they require. Thank you.
सर मैं मनीष रुचि न्यूज़ से सर मैं मनीष रुचि न्यूज़ से सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो पुलवामा में जो घटना है
The first part of the question, the intelligence inputs about such attacks or similar attacks. There are a lot of intelligence inputs about various types of modus operandi of the terrorist, which I would not like to share in this press conference because that's operational information in nature. But suffices to say, I would like to assure everyone that all types of intelligence inputs, as I said, the teams, security forces here, we are taking into account all intelligence inputs and we are acting on it. What happens is only probably about 1 or 2% of what has been denied to them. The actions of security forces based on intelligence, there are a lot of actions by the terrorists which are not allowed to happen. So naturally it doesn't come into the open domain. Now second point about recruitment. Yes, definitely the recruitment has come down in the recent months and that's a good sign. I would like to compliment the Awam of the Kashmir for this and the youth, that recruitment has come down because as I said earlier, you pick up a gun, you are dead unless you surrender. I would also like IGP Kashmir to say on the recruitment if he has something to say.
The recruitment, as it was mentioned by the Corps Commander, there is a significant dip in the recruitment, which you all know. The statistics are a reflection of that. So we don't see recruitment in last 3 months. The recruitment has significantly come down, and we would request the families. There are families who are paying key role. We know, I would not like to name the individuals here because of their personal security and protection. There are families who actually made a lot of effort to bring their sons back, and that helped. So we would also like urge through this platform that the families have a very important role to play, the community has a very important role to play to curtail recruitment, and that is what we are seeing. There was a fear, element of fear in some villages, some places we see an element of fear where a boy, there is an encounter which is taking place in the house. Then there is also, we have seen the force to join, and that kind of evidence has also come in some cases. So what we would request, with the top commanders getting eliminated, the vintage element going out, the terror scenario, the security scenario has actually improved and the terror elements have been crushed. We are giving a very strong investigational measure. We are trying to, the collaborators, those people who are actually co-conspirators in generating this kind of action, this kind of terror incident, we are acting very tough on them. So I'm sure with all this thing, recruitment has seen a visible dip and it will gradually go down.
Gaurav Sawant.
Sir, my name is Gaurav Sawant. I work for India Today. I have 2 questions, one for the police and the other for the army. Sir, as far as recruitment is concerned, you addressed that. But what was the explosive that was used? How did that explosive come into India? Where was it fabricated? That's investigation part. And radicalization of local boys, is that a major issue for the army or for the security forces? And how are you dealing with that?
The first part of the question जो आपने बोला कि harassment and all वो propaganda है, and anyone can say anything without any proof. So I would like to again tell the Awam of Kashmir, इस propaganda का शिकार मत होइए. और दूसरी बात कि जो टेररिस्ट का जो मॉडस ऑपरेंडी का फ्यूचर में आप कैसे टैकल करेंगे, आई थिंक वो क्वेश्चन पहले आंसर हो गया है. जो भी इंटेलिजेंस रिपोर्ट्स आती हैं, जो भी हमारे टेररिस्ट की मॉडस ऑपरेंडी या टेक्निक्स हमारे सामने आती हैं, हम लोग उसी तरीके से अपने मॉडस ऑपरेंडी या अपनी तरतीब को बदलते हैं और टेररिस्ट को एलिमिनेशन करने के लिए प्लानिंग करते हैं.
Sir, we'll take last 2 questions.
Okay.
Sir, my question actually was,
After that,
this year, there have been, according to reports, there have been around 400 local recruits. Last 3-4 months it has dipped, but this has, according to reports, this is the highest in almost a decade. Do you see that as a worrying trend? Even though there have been a lot of Christian killings also, still 400 according to reports have been.
See, the numbers, as IG साहब ने बताया कि जो numbers कितने हैं, क्या है, वो सब ऑपरेशनल डिटेल्स हैं, उसके बारे में बात नहीं करूंगा. यू हैव सम नंबर, दैट इज वन मैन्स वर्जन. लेकिन जो भी है, जो लोकल रिक्रूटमेंट हो रहा था, खुशी की बात यह है कि अभी पिछले चंद महीनों में वो डाउन हुआ है। तो हमें पॉजिटिव्स देखने हैं, हम लोग यहाँ बैठकर नेगेटिव्स के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं देते। हम हर चीज़ को पॉजिटिव एनर्जी और पॉजिटिव तरीके से देख के आगे पॉजिटिव आगे की जो फ्यूचर प्लानिंग है उसके हिसाब से हम प्लान करते हैं।
Abhishek.
Sir, I'm Abhishek Bhalla from India Today. Sir, you mentioned that the attack was being masterminded in Pakistan. It was being controlled by ISA and JEM. Can you elaborate on what local inputs, local people's involvement was there, to what extent, and how many people would be involved?
As I said earlier, the complete attack on the convoy was masterminded by Pakistan and the ISI and the JEM from across the border. What happened from the local content is a matter of investigation. So we have the leads, we are working on them, and we have a lot of details. So, but I would not like to share those details here because of obvious reason.
Thank you very much. Manish, बोलो।
इस तरह की खबरें देखने के लिए आप हमारे चैनल को लाइक करके सब्सक्राइब करें और नोटिफिकेशन बेल ऑन कीजिए।